Okay, so let me brief once again what. Okay, yeah. So this is your on-premise database. Suppose take an example that how your on-premise database will looks like. Okay, where you build everything like your OS. On top of that, you build your uh, SQL Server instance. Can you go on mute? If anyone is not, Shanmugh, can you please go on mute? Hello, Shanmugh. Hello, Shanmugh. Can you go on mute, please? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so yeah, in on-premise model, where you have to build each and everything. Okay, like your OS, your server, your OS, your database, everything you have to build. Okay, yeah. So while coming back to your Azure DB model, so we have discussed a few things about yesterday. Okay, so like in Azure DB model, we have single DB and elastic DB. Okay, so in single DB model, what is there is no Windows platform. Okay, you cannot see Windows Server in the Azure DB model. Okay, and in managed instance also you cannot see the Windows. Okay, what is this cross coding and all? We'll see now. Okay, and your IAS is same like your on-premise. Everything you have to uh, yeah, everything you have to build it from the scratch. Okay, fine. Okay, so for the um, like um, practice purpose, I may use different accounts. Okay, don't worry. uh, you can have your own accounts. Okay, yeah. So after you log into the portal, you will see the uh, uh, your dashboard is something like this. Okay, because I created multiple services. Okay, when I come to the dashboard, okay, so what I'm going to do now, I want to create a SQL new database server and I want to create a SQL Azure database. Okay, let me go back here and you just go here all services and search for the SQL virtual machines. Okay, here SQL virtual machines. Yeah, fine. So once you search the SQL virtual machines, you will get three options. One is your Azure DB model and managed instance and SQL virtual machines. I'm just created yesterday Azure DB. Let's see what are the other options that are available still. Okay, let's create a database. Yeah, so my version is a free trial. Okay, and resource group, I have already a couple of resource groups. I have a prod resource group. You know what is resource group? It's a resource group is nothing but it's a logical container which will contain the services. Okay, it's a logical one. Okay, yeah, fine. You know the database name. Let me create it again, test database. And what is the server name? You know, the server name should be identical. Okay, and you can create on fly, or your database server you can create on fly, or else you can create the database server first, and inside that you can create the databases. Either case is possible. Okay, now I am growing. Yesterday I have seen that I have created a database server separately. On top of that, I build the SQL server. Now I am going to do on fly. This is on fly. Okay, I am going to create a SQL database server name. What is the server name? Let me put it as some test 4567 something. Okay, this name should be identical. If someone is already using the name, then it will give you an error that was this name is already someone is using. Okay, see that test 56, the database server name is already someone is using. Let me put it as 567. This name is no one is not using. Okay, and the extension is database.windows.net. Okay, yeah, fine. Where your location, you know that where is the location you want to keep your um, database server. Okay, whether you want to keep it in US or um, it is depend upon the again the client. Okay, for which client you are working. Okay, based on his requirements, you have to choose appropriate location. Let me create my server. Yesterday I have created in US. Let me try to create. I will frequently change this uh, location. Okay, let me choose Central India. Okay, yeah, Asia Pacific, Central India. This is one of the location. Okay, we have seen that I'm just going with the default with the SQL authentication and the password. You have to give the strong password, otherwise it won't take it. Okay, this is my strong password. Just click on OK. Now I have created my database server. Okay. Now this compute and storage is very important. We have discussed yesterday a lot about it. What is compute plus storage? It will decide basically in which model you want to go. In single DB model, what are the different types of we have? Single DB. Okay, single DB model, we have DTU based and we have vCore based. Okay, just come here. Yesterday we have talked about a basic model, then go with the standard. Okay, in standard, what is the limitations? Let's see. You have to minimum create 10 DTUs. That is the minimum limitation for the standard DTU model. Okay, up to you can go 3000 DTUs. Up to you can go 3000 DTUs. Why it is not allowing me to create 3000 DTUs? Because my service is a free tier. Okay, if my service is a paid service, then it will allow me to create up to 3000 DTUs. You know what is the meaning of the DTU? It is a database transaction unit, which is a combination of your CPU, RAM, and IOPS. IOPS is nothing but
Vishal, I have a question.
yeah, please.
Yeah, Vishal, if we create a resource group and server, both are in same region, or we can put it as different region and we'll connect.
Yeah, you can put your resource group in some other location. No issues.
No issues, right?
Yes.
Okay. Need to clarify. Thank you.
Okay, resource group it's a logical container. It doesn't have anything. Okay, your resource group doesn't have anything. Okay, inside that you can create your services. You are just giving it as a something like a naming. Under that you are keeping your services.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fine. So now while I'm using a free service, that's the reason why I have some limitations with the DTUs, because they don't give 3000 DTUs for you, because 3000 DTUs, how much it costs? Around 3,96,786 rupees. Okay, but what is my free account? It will consist of how much? 14,500 of free credits only, right? How can I use this much of credits? Okay, that's the reason why they will restrict you. Okay, I'm just going with the uh, basic model, which is of 10 DTUs and 256 GB. This is my storage of per DB.
Vishal, what is DTUs? You are telling something about the DTUs. It's a something combination like that you're telling.
Yeah. So have you attended yesterday's class?
No, no, no. Sorry. Yesterday I
Okay,
didn't.
okay. Let me talk about DTUs. Okay, so DTU is nothing but it's a database transaction unit. Okay, so in normal model, what will happen? Like when you want to create your services. Okay, so you need a CPU, right? So you, in order to build any server or in order to build any services, what it required? It required a CPU, it required a memory, it required a storage, right? So together, the Microsoft they're together all the services and they call it as a DTU, database transaction unit. Okay, it is a combination of nothing but CPU, memory, and storage. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
DTUs,
okay, sure, it's clear.
yeah, DTUs are nothing but uh, database transaction unit. See that when you want to increase the size, you have to change the size of the. So now I want to go with 500 GB. Okay, see
So,
the price
sorry to interrupt.
variations.
So the maximum the storage is 3 TB for
Yeah,
database,
it will support up to 4 TB.
4 TB, I say.
Yeah,
So what happened? You pass a 4 TB.
you have to go for the next model.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, there are limitations for each model. So when you create with your these are some limitations. Let me show you. Yeah. So nice question, Mike. I just want to see that. In basic tier, if you want to create your service in basic tier, you can max you can utilize 5 DTUs and the storage is up to they will support 2 GB. Okay, that is a limitation. When you go with the standard tier, the DTU model, max DTUs you can utilize up to 100. Okay, and max current sessions you can have at least 2400. Okay, like this it has the limitations. Standard, let's see that in S4 we call it as a S4. In 200 DTUs it is there. When it comes to S6 model, again for S12 it is 3000 DTUs you can create up to in standard tier models. Okay, and the maximum storage 1024. Okay, like this it will have the premium type. Let's see the premium type. It will have the maximum DTUs 4000 DTUs you can utilize until, and the maximum storage is 4 TB. In DTU model, what is the max limit is 4 TB. Until 4 TB you can utilize. Once it reaches 4 TB you cannot utilize it. Then you have to go for the next model. Okay.
I think it's 16 GB.
That
4096 square has been mentioned.
4000. 4096 square means 4096 into 4096 up to 8 TB. Okay. So these like what happened for each year the Microsoft will release the additional benefits for the server, right? So earlier it was 4 TB, now they move to 8 TB. Maybe I'm not 100% judging that. Maybe it will have the 4 TB or 8 TB. Okay. When we have the pay as you go subscription, then we can see that what is the maximum limit that it will giving. Okay.
Vishal, I think it's 16 TB, Vishal. It's not 8 TB. It's 16
Yes,
TB.
correct. 16 TB, that is the max limit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just allow me for one minute. I will connect with one more account I have. Let me connect with 16 TB. Yeah, that is correct. 16 TB, up to 16 TB you can utilize it. Okay. But at the same time, the DTU count will also increase. Okay. Yeah, fine. Just I'm going with the basic thing. Okay. I'm just going with the 10 DTUs and this is uh, 250 GB. Until 250 GB you can utilize it. It will comes around 1300 rupees. Okay, apply. Yeah, this is nothing but your standard model. And let's see, you cannot utilize the premium. Why? You are in a free tier subscription, right? That's the reason why it will not allow you to utilize this one. Okay. Yeah. So then there is one more model, that is vCore model. Okay, vCore model. In vCore again we have three classifications. We call it as a general purpose, hyperscale, and business critical. Okay, in free tier you cannot see all rest of the two hyperscale and business criticals. Okay, let's go with the vCore general purpose, what it indicates. Okay, so in vCore model we have in general computer model, again we have provision and serverless. What is this provision means? In provision, the Microsoft will allocate a dedicated resources to you. Okay, they will allocate a dedicated resources to you. Let's see that. Yeah, so they will allocate, see that maximum storage. Yeah, in M series you cannot see all the series. Why? Because you don't have the pay as you go subscription. That's the reason why they disable these options for you. Okay. Yeah, let me go with see that. I can increase my vCores. See, I can go vCore. In vCore model, what will happen? You can utilize how many cores you want, how many logical process you want. Okay, you can utilize up to 128 logical process. Cores are nothing but your processors. Okay, how many processors you want? The minimum you have to utilize is 2 cores. Okay, and the maximum storage you can go until when you increase this size, it will give the size. Maximum it is, I think, 4 TB. Okay. And the business critical is one more is there. For that, it will support until 16 TB. Okay. Yeah. So see the pricing model now, 44,366 rupees. Okay. When you use, is it really required for your practice purpose? No. Okay. So just go with the basic model and you can practice what are the things that you require, and later you can demise it so that you have the enough credit to practice. Okay. Okay. So moving further, I just want to show you what is serverless. Okay.
Vishal, I'm having one doubt.
Yeah, please.
Like whatever services we are pursuing, it's showing cost per month, right?
Mm.
So today I'm creating one database and tomorrow I'm deleting it. How
Mm.
much they will charge for me? Like
Like it is giving you per month, right?
yes,
By 30, you can calculate.
okay.
Okay. Just go with 6852 by 30. Yeah, 6852 by 30. So how much it will come per day? 228. If you want to go with per hour, by 24. Okay. How much they are charging per hour? 9.51 rupees. Okay. So if you want to go with half an hour or something, you will get 4 rupees.
No, Vishal, actually what I'm asking is like
Mm.
if I okay, I'm coming with this database itself. The setup it's cost around 6,800 per month.
Mm.
Now I'm using per day only. I'm within one day I'm deleting it.
Mm.
So the cost they will charge for only one day or that's my question.
Yes, they will charge for 1 day only.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what.
got it.
So the you have you attended the Azure fundamentals like what I started in the first class?
Yes, I have
Okay.
attended.
So what I said for what is the main benefit of the Azure?
Pay as you go.
Yes, pay as you go.
Like yes,
How much you are utilizing, pay that much only.
that
So
much
if
only.
even though
Yes.
if you utilize it 1 hour, yes, you can pay for 1 hour.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah. So now what is this serverless model? Okay. Now we have seen provision model. In provision model, you will procure a dedicated resources. Okay. What is this serverless model? Let me explain to you by drawing a small diagram. Okay. Uh, yeah. So I'm running a application. Okay. Or I'm running a database server, which is not 24/7. Okay. It is not 24/7. Okay. Yeah. It is not 24/7. It is not 24/7. And uh, take an example that your database or your application is related to a college or school or supermarket. Okay. So what will happen, generally their business will start by uh, I'm calculating in IST, Indian Standard Times. Okay. They will start their business by 9 a.m. IST in general. Okay. And they will end by 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. Okay. In between already their business will run, right? So rest of the time what will happen, they don't have that much load on the database servers. During this time they will use the servers. Their business will run basically from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. IST. In between they have the more load on the servers. After that they don't use it. Maybe the usage is very minimal. Or if you take an supermarket or kind of thing, what they do from the early morning, they will start, and by the end of the day they will close the business. In between that, from 9 p.m. IST to early morning, like 6 or 7 a.m. IST, what they do in between, the servers will be idle. Okay, so for these kind of situations, if my system is idle for 12 hours a day, 12 hours a day, so why I have unnecessarily to pay the bill to the Microsoft? Okay, so for these problems, Microsoft identified, and they come up with a solution called serverless provision. Okay, so what they are saying, so boss, when is your workload is peak, during that time you can run with max vcos, how many vcos you want. Okay, so when your system is idle, run with a minimal vcos. Cores, how many cores you want? Cores is nothing but your CPUs. That is nothing but serverless provision. Let's see, you can understand. So what is the maximum cores I want to run my application? Okay, I want to run my 4 applications, 2 vcos. That is fine. Okay, when my system is maximum utilizing, it will run with two cores. Okay, yeah. So when there is a minimum load on my server, it has to run with 0.5 vcores. Okay, so it is not allowing me to do the max course. Why? Because my subscription is a fee subscription. That's the reason why I'm just going with 2 vcores for the practice purpose. Okay, what is the minimum vcore? I can run 0.5 vcores. Yeah, see that. Enable auto pass. When you want to enable the auto pass, okay, see that the database automatically passes if it is inactive for the time period. Okay, it is asking you, if my system is idle for how much time, then I need to keep my system as in pass mode. Okay, by default 1 hour. If you want, you can increase the time, or if you want, you can keep it for 1 day, 2 days, or how many days you want to keep it. You can keep it in minutes also. If my system is idle for 10 minutes, then I need to 1 hour to 7 days. It is saying that, let's see, the minimum is 1 hour. You cannot see, you cannot put below than 1 hour. Okay, if my system is idle for 1 hour, what it has to do, it has to run with 0.5 vcores. Okay, so then you get it out, like what will happen if some load will comes. Okay, then automatically it will start utilizing the uh, 2 vcores. Okay, this is the max limit. Got it? I'm minimizing my bill by using serverless provision. Okay, why I have to pay unnecessarily bill when my system is idle? Correct, right? So that's the reason why Microsoft come up with a solution that, boss, you can utilize there is a serverless provision. With the serverless provision, you can max up, or you can minimum, you can run your system with the cores. Okay, just click on apply. Storage also, storage you cannot do anything. You can, how much storage you want, like you want 100 GB something, you can use it. Okay, yes, data max size, this is a max size. Yes, I got the point. This is serverless provision. Okay, let me go with the other 2 models. You cannot see it. Okay, why? It has some restrictions. You are free subscription, that's the reason why it is not allowing you to do this. In business hyperscale, in which kind of models you have to choose the, okay, suppose my business is a like they need this kind of setup, like supermarket kind of thing, or it's a school, or it's a college, or it's any like uh, if it is an online application, don't go with that. Okay, because it has 24/7 business, right? So where the business is like limited to certain period, then go with the hyperscale model. Okay, so
I think we lost you, Vishal.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Actually, my net got disconnected. Let me connect it back. I hope everyone is able to hear me, right? Any disturbance?
No, clear.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. So now coming back here, so your serverless or provision, you understand, right? So now I'm just going with the DDU model. Why? I want to show a couple of options. Let me create a quickly of the 2 DDU model. Review and create. Yes, I'm creating it. So after you submitted the services, it has 3 phases, right? Yesterday we have discussed. What is that? ISD. What is mean by ISD? Initializing, submitting, and deployment. Okay. First, it will go into the initialization state, then submission, then finally deployment state. Okay. So in most of the interviews, you may get this question: what are the different purchase models we have, or what are the different uh, uh, versions or editions they used to call? What are the different editions we have in uh, a single database model? Then you are in a, you have to answer that we have 2 editions. Okay, one is DTU based purchase model, and second one is fee core model. In DTU model, we have basic, standard, and premium. While it comes to V core model, we have a business critical, hyperscale, and general purpose. In general purpose, again we have serverless, and we have the provision model. If you want, you can learn little bit about it. What is serverless, or what is server provision? Okay, what is hyperscale? What is business critical? We'll see that slowly. Okay, I have, I will. I just want to finish this DTU model today. Then tomorrow I will take up the vCore model. So you need to be very little bit patient. Patience, like after you created the any service in Azure, it will take minimum 3 to 4 minutes to deploy the services. Okay, when you are a premium member with for Azure, it will be very quick. It won't take this much of time. It will finish in couple of minutes. You can see your progress in notifications. So before that, so if you want to connect your Azure services through your local system, please download the latest version of the management tools. Just go to the Google and type SQL Server SSMS 2019 download. Okay. So once you click on it, it will take you to the Microsoft site, and just click on here, free download for Management Studio. So I don't require because I already have this one. Once it is downloaded, just go next, next, next. Then it will install in your laptop. Now I'm going to the resource where I deployed. Fine. We have seen yesterday how to connect with the query editor, right? So through the query editor, we can by using the password, we can connect and can work with the. It will give error. Why? Your IP address is your public IP address is not added. That's the reason why you will get error. What then to overcome this error? What you have to do? Just come here and add your just add your IP address, your public IP address for the practice purpose. SQL databases inside that. Just go inside and add set server firewall role. Select the network IP address. By default, it will detect your public IP. Just click on add and save. Once you save this, you can access your.
Did you have to do this every time? Because your laptop is dynamic IP, right?
Yeah, okay. So for the in real time, what we will do, we'll create a VNet with the help of the VNet. We'll assign the one of the VP like your private IPs. We don't generally use you know, right, how to connect in organizations. They use a VPN connections. All the laptops or all the systems throughout the organization, they used to connect within a network, and they pass through VPN connection, and you will able to connect. Okay, here I don't have the VPN setup, right? That's the reason why I'm just directly adding my public IP for the practice purpose. Clear? Now, just
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Now I can connect through. Yes, now I connected. So I told one thing. So here there is no cross query. What is mean by cross query? What is meaning of the cross query? Let me take
Like
you.
using some other like using to connect with that are that is cross courier.
Yeah, somewhat, somewhat. Okay. Yeah. So cross query is nothing but like if you want to suppose in on-premise model, what you will do, you can this is take an example. This is my server. If I have multiple databases within the server, I have installed one of the on-premise server as well to show you what is the differences. So if I want to run something, okay, let me take a new query. So I can use some test 1 2, and I can run the command, right? Select star from sys dot tables, or select star from what is the table, what is the database that contains the table. If it contains, yeah, it contains EMP. Select star from EMP. Test underscore 1 2. My database name is, okay. I can run this command, right? So that what my query will do, it will change my connection to test database, and then it will run the query. This is kind of cross query, right? Okay, so even irrespective of what database I have chosen here, so based on that query, it will point towards the database which is required, and it will run the corresponding query. But here you cannot do something like that. Okay, so and let me show you how you're gonna connect to your Azure database through the management studio. So okay, this is your management studio. Let's give the your server name. What is the authentication? SQL Server authentication. What is the username? Sysadmin. That was I created. Password, you have to pass the password. Yes, connected. Yeah. So here, if suppose if I have one more database, let me quickly create one more database. You can create database through management studio, but it will give the script. For some things it will give a script. For some things it will give uh, the screens, okay, where you can choose the required options, and then you can quickly create your database. Now it will give a pop-up where you can choose the database name and everything. Once you click on OK, it will create in the Azure as well. For the best practice purpose, download the latest SSMS like 2019 2022 also released. Just go with that because you will be able to see a lot of options. Yeah. So here you have to pass your database name. For practice purpose, I'm creating one more database. Let me create test one. Okay. Yeah. So here from here also you can choose uh, your compatibility level, whatever the compatibility level that you want, and what is the collation that you want for your database. Either you can create from the portal or you can create from directly from the management studio. Yes, that is also possible. When you go with the default, it will create the default one. Yes. This is nothing but you sign in. If you are not signed in, you can click on the signed in, then it will ask you your Azure uh, username and password. Then click on OK. I'll just simply script out it, what it is giving. Let's see that. See the edition, it is by default, it will went into standard edition. Yeah. All these are not required. I'm just deleting this. These are by default options. You don't need to do anything. Okay. Yeah. So create database name edition. So for practice purpose, what edition is required? Basic is fine, right? I'm just going with the basic. Okay. Basic and S1 is fine for me. Maximum data size. I want 2 GB. That is more than enough. Support the service object S1. Just go with the S2. Let me create it. Basic does not support the service object S2.
Try S0.
Let me put it as S0. If does not allow, then probably I can change that. No, it don't require the service object for basic. Okay. Yes. For standard only, it required the what service model you want. Okay. What is the service object that you required? It is basically required for the standard DTU model. For basic, it doesn't require. When you're trying to create the databases, it will show you clearly. See now the command says completed and refresh here. You will able to see the test database. Let me come back to the databases, SQL databases, where you will able to see one more database name called test one. Okay. Yeah. Now you will able to see the test file, test one more database, right? Okay. So here each database is independent. As I told in the beginning itself, each database is unique. Each database will have its own DTUs. Let's see that. See that your database test is having its 5 DTUs and test one will have its 5 DTUs. Okay. Each database is independent. Now, if I use suppose same command, use test1, okay, and can I use it? Let's try to run it. Use a new connection to connect a different database. Yes, you cannot write your cross queries. Okay, there are some limitations. You cannot use the cross queries in Azure DB model. Okay, that is one limitation. After that, whatever I told, like there is no windows. Show me where is my windows. Directly I created what I created. I created a SQL database server. Inside that I created a databases. I created my databases. Where is my Windows server? Okay, you no need to worry about it. You basically you don't see what is your Windows. Okay, and no SQL agent. Okay, that is also one of the limitation. This is my on-premise model. I have my agent, right? So what about this one? Yes, you don't have the SQL agent. Okay, so to automate any jobs or anything you want to perform, yes, you can perform by creating your own scripts, or you can create your PowerShell scripts, or and you can deploy into your Azure and you can run it. You can do. Okay, or if you want to do the maintenance activities like index rebuild, index rearc, you can write your scripts. Okay, now one question. So suppose if any client comes and if not like a client, it is a general question. So if anyone asks you, I want to move my service from on-premise to Azure. Now, suggest me what is the best model which is available. I want to go for which model? What will you suggest among these three? Your single DB model, your managed instance, or your IaaS model? Which one will you prefer?
Manage instance.
Managed instance. Why? What is the reason?
So that way you have more control of it.
Okay.
Vishal, that depends upon the application, right? If the application
Correct.
doesn't support cross queries,
Mhm.
this information you should not go for this Azure DB and managed instance.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, fine. So again, it depends upon the project requirement. But firstly, what you have to suggest Azure DB model. What will happen in Azure DB model? You see the price model. Okay. So in managed instance, if you want to manage instance, this is very costly. You haven't seen these options, right? So that's the reason why Mike may told that managed instance. Okay. But well, when you see the pricing model, you will understand. Okay, in single DB model, what will happen? My suggestion is go for single model. Why? Test your application. If everything looks good, if it's working as per your requirement, first test with the 5 DTUs or 10 DTUs. Okay, so once you feel that everything is working with your application as per your requirement, and test thoroughly, and then migrate your database to Azure DB model. Yes, you can run minimum like 300 rupees also you can run your database, right? 400 rupees approx. 400 rupees you can run your database for 1 month. In rest of the models, what will happen? In managed instance, yes, there is no Windows, but pricing model is very little bit vary. When you go for the IaaS model, it is same like on-premise. Okay, so again, there is a situation when we have to choose IaaS model, when we have to choose managed instance, when we have to choose Azure DB. Okay, so when we have to go for the IaaS model, suppose if my application is very older application which will not support for latest version of SQL Server. Suppose there are some legacy applications, right, which will still running on SQL Server 2008, 2005. Yes, there are few legacy applications still they are running in SQL 2005 and 2008. They are afraid if they migrate their services from 2008 to some 2012 or 2019 or 2022, their application will not work. Okay, that's how they build their application. Yes, they run in such kind of things. Okay, for that, what will happen when you move to IaaS? Yes, you can build everything. Okay, yes, for that applications, IaaS model is best. In Azure DB model, what will happen? Single DB. So by default, it will comes to the latest version. When you deploy your services, by default, it will come to latest. That is SQL 2019. Okay, you cannot have that control in which model you want to keep it or what. Yes, you can change the compatibility. That is fine, but by default, it will comes to latest SQL version. Here you can change the compatibility of the database, right? You can change the compatibility, but by default, it will comes to SQL 2019. If you want a specific version, there is no possibility in Azure DB model. SQL, Microsoft is saying that was if you want to choose yours, I want SQL 2014 in single DB model. No, it is not possible. If you want SQL 2016, no, it is not possible. By default, it will comes into SQL 2019. SQL 2022 is still in kind of testing phase. Okay, so once the testing is done, then in future they will stop deploying their services into SQL 2019 and they will use SQL 2022. Okay, you can change the compatibility. See that you can change your compatibility of your database, but you cannot change the server version. Okay, so if you see the 12.0.2 2000.8, it means that it is not SQL 2014. Okay, if you see here, yeah, for on-premise, if you see 15.0 means it is indicating SQL 2019. Okay, but here not something like that. If you even if you use select at the rate version, okay, let's see that it is simply giving Microsoft Azure 12.0. What is meaning of SQL Azure 12.0? Let me copy. See that it is indicating SQL 2019. By saying this, don't judge that it said 2014. It says SQL 2019. Okay, but the version they made something like this. Yeah, so there are some limitations and restrictions with the SQL Azure database. What are those limitations? Let's see quickly. Okay, so for normal database, you have the most of the controls with you. If I want, I can take my database offline, online, or I can do something with my database. Okay, I can play with my database. Here, you don't have that control. Even you cannot take your services to offline, or you cannot take your database to offline, online. Everything is controlled by Microsoft. Okay, that's the reason why they are claiming 99.99% of your database is always available. Why? Everything they have taken your control. Okay, and you cannot change the most of the parameters as well. See that yeah, of course you can delete it. That's a different part. Deletion is a different part. If you don't want your database, what you can simply you can delete your database. That's a different part. Okay, but when you see in a normal database, you can have the multiple options where you can shrink your database. If you want, you can shrink your database. Where you have the control to when you want to create a new database, you can choose where you want to keep your data file, log file. Okay, but here you don't have that control. When you want to create a new database, will it showing for the data file or log file location? No. And when you see the other properties, see that file and file groups, it will have, okay, there are many options where you can change your recovery model. Yes, here, where is the recovery model? You cannot put your database into the simple recovery model or full or bulk logged. By default, it will be into full recovery model. You don't have that control. Okay, by default, it will be into full recovery model. Even though if you create your database into test server also, it is full recovery. There is no control on your recovery models. Fine. And these permissions and security related things we'll see later. Mirroring, you don't have the mirroring, but you have the transaction replication. You can configure the transaction replication for the Azure database. Yeah. So rest of all like same. Your tables, everything you can see as same. Okay, so let me create some table. Table. Aircraft 10. Yes, now I created a table. This is my table. Fine. Yeah. So now you feel that after you can watch your database on regular basis, like what is your usage, how much the compute power it is using. You can see for last 7 days. Okay, so if you feel that anything is it is reaching its max size, or if it is reaching its DTUs, max DTUs, yes, you can always upgrade your database at any time, but you may encounter a little bit of downtime. Okay, let's see the other things. See that? So what are the activities that you performed so far? It will give the list. Okay, it is your free trial. Update SQL database, succeed. What are the operations that you perform? It will show you. The tags is a different part. I will explain to you later. Diagnostics and solve problem. This is very, very important. In case if you have encountered any problem while you are working with your Azure DB model, yes, it will show the common problems. What are the common problems that were occurred so far? Microsoft, they give some articles. See that? Backup and restore DB, import and export. If you get any issue with this, yes, you can click on it. It will give the information. You can self troubleshoot purpose. You can use this one. Choose an option. Where is the problem you are occurring? Okay, that based on that you can choose your problem and you can work it accordingly. That is nothing but diagnose and solve the problems. Okay, getting started. If you want to connect with your application, see connection string. This is very important. So like if your application is a JDBC application or .NET application, this is your connection string. Okay, if any application guy asking you, boss, can you provide my connection string? You have to give this connection string for .NET related application. If it is a JDBC application, this is a connection string. For ODBC, this is the one. For PHP, yes, this is your connection string. For Go, this is nothing but Golang, my Google language. Fine. Query editor, we have already seen that query editor. Compute plus storage. We know what is compute plus storage. Yeah. So anytime if you want to upgrade your DTU model, yes, you can upgrade from anytime from one model to another model. Now we want to this is created in a basic tier model. Now I want to migrate my server from basic to standard. Yes, you can do always. Okay, let me quickly do it from basics to standard. Click on apply. Mean that time you cannot access your database. Now whenever I am doing it, you cannot access your database. It will have the downtime during the upgradation of your addition from basic to standard. Scaling from, always you can do scale in or scale out, scale up and scale down. Scale up is nothing but if you want to upgrade your database from standard to basic, yes, you can do. From standard to basic, yes, vice versa, so you can do it. If your database is fit into that model, suppose your database size is 10 GB and if you want to come to basic model, is it possible? No, right? Your basic model limitation has 2 GB. How can you come from 10 GB to 2 GB? It won't support. You have to choose the right model according to your data size. Now I have moved from basic to standard. If I want to come down, yes, you can. I done the scale up and scale down I can do. If my data size is fit in 2 GB, if my data size is can't fit in 2 GB, I cannot downgrade my database. This is nothing but scale out, scale up or scale down. See enough? What is my in overview? You can see that. Let's refresh here. Whenever you perform any activity, please try to refresh it. Otherwise, you don't see the options. See the pricing tier? It is in basic model now. Yeah, this is my server name. Connection string. So database connection string. If you want, you can, when you click on the get database connection string, it will take you to the connection strings. Your ODBC, JDBC, everything. Okay. I think we are already running out of time. We can find to close for today. Meanwhile, anyone having any doubts?
Hello.
Yes.
In Azure SQL also we have system databases or no?
Yeah, we have only one system database, that is master.
Okay. No
You don't.
model
No,
DB.
no model MDB. Why model is required?
Okay, no, just asking.
No. I'm just giving an
Okay,
explanation to you.
okay.
I'm
Okay,
not
okay.
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 So what is the purpose of the model database? When you want to create any new database, basically the properties of the database will inherit from the
Model database.
model database. Correct, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
here, what I told in Azure DB model, each database is independent. Each database will have its own DTUs, or it has its own vCore model. Correct, right? So why I need again the properties?
Okay.
Okay. Here there is no concept
Okay.
of MDB. There is no concept of, there is no agent, right? That's the reason why there is no MSDB. Only it will have only one DB, that is master DB. Let me show you that one as well quickly. When you go to the system databases, only you can see your master database.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you.
Nice, good question. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Can
So
you log in with a different account on the same laptop?
different login with the same
Yeah.
laptop.
I know that you log in different account in there
Mhm,
on the same laptop, right?
You're not
Yes,
getting
you
you
trouble
can
with that, right?
you can use multiple accounts, multiple Azure accounts. You can log in.
Okay.
So let me share my screen. When you when you're trying to
Because they're the same MAC address, right? From your laptop.
no issues. Once I created the multiple accounts, portal.azure.com. So when you go to the sign in screen, it will ask you which account you want to use it.
Got it. Got it.
So these are my frequently used my friends' accounts. So if you want, I can use some other account.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions, guys? Okay. Yeah, Shanmugh.
Yes, Vishal. Okay. Thank you for your session, guys. I'm going to change the meeting link. Okay, tomorrow you will get a new meeting link. Those who completed the formalities and all. Okay, so I'm going to send you the links, guys. Those who completed the formalities, I'll directly share the new meeting link by tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
That's it from my side. Yeah.
Thank you, Shanmugh.
thanks
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Shambhu.
Thank you.
Good night.